cold. Baby, I just want you close. I got all this joy in my heart, and if it's getting dark, yeah, we can go inside. Baby, won't you hold me tight? I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you and me, and I know it will be a magic holiday. Oh, you make it all okay. Oh, it's a magic holiday. Ooh, the rest just fades away. It's you and me, a magic holiday. The fire's burning bright, and the snow is falling down. Honey, I want you near. In your arms, that whole world disappears. 'Cause when I'm feeling down, you're there to love me right. Nothing compares to this. It's such a bliss, my only wishes. I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you and me, and I know it will be a magic holiday. Oh, you make it all okay. Oh, it's a magic holiday. Oh, the rest just fades away. It's you and me, a magic holiday. A magic holiday. I don't need any presents, 'cause I know I have you. I just need you and me, and I know it.
Hey, hi everyone. So I've seen some comments. You guys have enjoyed the penguin card. I am channeling Elsa again. A little snow. I'm from South Dakota. We do not have a lot of snow yet, but I know it's coming. So what types of questions do you have for me today? Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Dale. I saw your comment that you're excited to make the penguin card. I do. I love penguins. I don't know. Their little waddle and jump, like they can just move so amazingly smoothly in the water and waddle. And so my card, this is one of the versions here that was it is a trifold shutter card. And when you have it closed, it can be, these are so cool because you can just do so many different things with them. So this is one, and then it folds out like this. So I always put a family photo right here, and I put like from the Minor family and a little holiday greeting. It can be any occasion, of course. You do not have to make it into penguins. I have an example. Think back. Oh, right behind me. This way. The pink one. Super cute for, little girl's birthday party, right? So you can change it however you want. If you have the VIP, I actually have included 10 different versions of the shutter card, including, this is actually just using digital paper for backgrounds. But I've done lots of different arrangements of the spaces to put things. And like you can do a big piece here that folds when it's out. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so how can you access the material list on Cricut Design Space while you're working on a project? To determine what material you should choose. So like you want to have the material lists like that I provided for the cards while you're working in design space? Is that kind of what you mean? If so, you can just have, design space open on one area of your computer, and then the list on a window open to look. If you're talking about the materials for the cutting settings, that is just when you are ready to cut. And honestly, the Cricut materials list, yeah, so the cut settings, that is just at the very end before you cut. And for these cards, like honestly, there's not so many materials that you need. Like I use almost all 65-pound cardstock, or scrapbook paper, which is about the same. I cut almost everything, all of my paper, even my photos, on the cardstock for intricate cut settings because it repeats it twice. And like I found that these little slits, like right here, sometimes they do get caught. I hope that helped. Do I have any other Shutter cards that aren't part of the VIP? Not yet. So this card, I've had it like saved on Pinterest, or one style of the card, for quite a while. And so finally this card summit, I decided, okay, I'm gonna do it now. This is gonna be my project this time. And so I probably will have other ones, but right now, unfortunately, I do not. Is there any way I can let the recipient know how to actually display this? Oh, that's a great idea. Because yeah, they will. I find when it's unfolded, it's pretty easy to do it. So you could I have folded it up so much, and it depends, because when you send it, you can either have it, I've designed it so I feel like this might be the prettiest part to send it on, but if you fold it so it's ready to be displayed, which is something like, oops, nope, I got it backwards. I can't do it in the mirror. Okay, so this is how I find it is displayed the best. And so when you open it up, it just kind of naturally sits that way. So if you have it folded like this when you send it, it will automatically just kind of fold out. And you can just tell them, just open it up and set it on your counter. Oh, when a card is not common, I include a picture of how it should be displayed. Yeah, that's a great idea. You could send a link, or FaceTime and be like, hey, check it out, whatever you want. Do I prefer a different weight cardstock for cards that have multiple folds? Honestly, I just love 65-pound cardstock. Sometimes I do use 110 for things like my explosion box lids or something that needs a lot more stability. This, because there's so many pieces and it covers almost all the way to the folds, I don't really use that. I do think actually maybe on this card, the back is 110, but honestly, for this one, it really doesn't matter so much. For my explosion boxes, I do use, it's not actually even cardstock. It's a little like construction paper, a little bit like copy paper, kind of in between there. And I use that type of paper because then the sides fall down really well. Oh, thanks, Misfit Crafter. I see, super cute. How long have I been making cards? So I recently have been trying to go through some old stuff, and I had a computer program that made cards and printed out cards. So when I was 20 or so, I wouldn't say, I definitely started making Cricut cards. Like, I've never been a stamper. I don't have an embossing machine. Like, I finally just started using like distress inks and different techniques like that. I found like when I got my Cricut and the precision cutting, it just made it so easy that now I'm like, well, I just want to take a look of a card or some idea that I've seen with a card or this paper, and I want to make it do this. Yeah, so I feel like I'm a pretty new card maker, so only a couple years, honestly. And then my specialty now is kind of cards for occasions that aren't necessarily happy. We've had a lot of loss in family and friends, and I really found that there aren't very many cards that say things like, this totally sucks, and there's nothing I can do for you, but I'm here, I care about you, and I'm always here for you. And I'm not going to tell you, Happy New Year, this is going to be the best year ever. Any events coming up that I can share? So yes, the next event I am in is next week, which is Design Space Jumpstart. And this is the last event I'm in this year. Design Space Jumpstart is really focused on learning how to use Design Space to do lots of things. So my workshop is from pixels to paper and teaches you how to use your own photos and own images in your crafts. And I will show you how to make a little bulletin board or a chalkboard, something actually that you can mail and then display on a little easel. So super cute. And I've only watched a few of the presentations, but everyone, like, I have learned something new from being able to like move your font list over. Like, you can put it anywhere on your computer screen. I did not know that. And that's one of the cool things about the different events like this, is that I feel like no matter, even though I'm a teacher, I still learn something from it. You can always glean so many little bits of knowledge and tips and tricks from all the other presenters. And if you want a ticket to that, you can go to my website, Minor DIY, and there's a link right from the homepage about my project. For print and cut, how do you know if there's a solid shape beyond your SVG file? A solid shape beyond. So actually what I do for print and cut mostly, okay, so for these little stickers, if you've watched my workshop, like, I told you how to compress them and I designed them with the outline already. So if you're doing print and cut for any other shape, so say, if it's a penguin, whatever it might be, that you got already in Design Space and you flatten it, then what you want to do is add the offset to make an outline around it. If you want to do the like white outline like I have here, because sometimes you just might want the sticker and to cut it out like directly on the black line. And I'm seeing, behind the, does that make sense, Cheryl, what I was saying? Are you talking about how sometimes a design can have like holes in the center, basically? If, like, say, for example, text, if you have script text. Yes, I don't want the penguin to have his stomach cut. Yes. Okay. So, I see. Okay. So this is, okay. So the penguin is white. So it is hard to tell if it's going to be white, if it's see-through, if it's not. On these ones, of course, I have made them so it's not. So a good trick for this would be to change your canvas color. Now, do you guys know that you can do that? Like, it's amazing. So if you in your layers panel, you'll have the canvas at the very bottom. And if you click that white square that says canvas, it won't look like anything changes, but a little menu pops up right at the top. And there's a little tiny, tiny square that says canvas color. And if you click on that square, you can change that canvas color to anything you want. So say bright green. And then with that bright green, you'll be able to tell, is this white or is this bright green? And if for some reason your whatever shape or image you're using is showing bright green instead of white, you can add a shape under it, or you could use again the offset button and make it large enough to have to make that white disappear with the offset. If you don't see the grid lines, is his stomach safe? Yes, that is correct. His stomach is safe if you don't see those grid lines. I find changing the canvas color a little bit better sometimes, like especially to see, like the outlines and things when you're working with white. Be Creative says, yeah, cute with cut files too. Yes, they are, but I think it would be a lot of layers. You're welcome, Cheryl. I'm sorry if that was kind of a roundabout way to answer your question, but I'm glad we got there in the end. So there's lots of different things like I do with print and cut. So this is another one. This is one of my most popular cards on my site that I have for free. This is the hug card. And of course I did print and cut, the pink hearts in the background, just some random paper from Creative Fabrica. And it is the hug card. So it is just a heart. This is print and cut in the center too. And sometimes you just want to be able to hug a friend, but instead you can send the hug card. Yes. Brenda says, I watched one of your videos about the alt and click to duplicate and a time saver. Yes. Yes, it is so amazing. I love that trick and I use it all the time. Like I'll get one thing perfect and then just I'll click and put it somewhere else. Or for the score lines, as card makers, we deal with a lot of score lines. And sometimes you just need to have them deeper. So if you just hold down that Alt key and click on the score line you want to duplicate, it just puts it exactly there. So no selecting, no centering, you just add another one like that. So that's pretty awesome. I have just, lost my train of thought. Squirrels. So I just did a tutorial on how to copy and paste from one project to another. Because if you've ever done that, you're making stickers or you're making a card or you're making something and you're just like, I've already done this in this project, but I've already started doing this in this project and I really want to combine them. So there's a few tricks to do that. What you need to do is open another window, open the new Design Space window, go into the project you want to copy and copy it. And you can use your keyboard shortcuts or right click and choose copy. Then you need to go into your other window, the project that you're working on. And you can either just click the keyboard shortcuts, so like Control V for paste, or, but to do that part, if you use the keyboard shortcuts, you have to select somewhere. You have to hit your layers menu. You have to have something selected to use the keyboard shortcut, or you can right click anywhere on the canvas and then click paste. So I had to do a lot of experimenting to find out what the reason was why I couldn't always use my keyboard shortcuts. But if that's helpful, again, there's a post on my site about that. I like that. Do I just use the inkjet printer? Yes, I do. So I have, let's see, what can you see back there as far as pictures? I use pictures so much. Let me just grab one. This one. So for example, this is one of my projects from my Twist and Pop card workshop. And I'm like, what do you do with the kids' school pictures? And especially now they're digital. You always get like a digital copy. So I have 4 kids. So I put it in a Twist and Pop card, which I can then send to my grandparents or send to, whoever. And then they just have a nice little display. And I put with print and cut their ages and grades and what year it was, the date, so you can always remember. And like you can see here, I think pretty well. Like I really like to use glossy photo paper or glossy vinyl sticker paper. It makes it so if you use sticker paper, it makes it so much easier because you don't have to worry about getting glue on your photos. So that's nice. I have an Epson wide format photo printer, which is the XP 1500, and I have it linked in all my supply lists. It has actually 6 different ink cartridges, so the quality on it is just amazing. And I don't know, I don't really worry about wasting ink. I'm like, this is precious. It's better for me to do it this way and print it out at home whenever I want, rather than, going to Walmart or Walgreens and getting photos printed and then having to cut them down. And if you want to do that though, that's absolutely fine. And I actually have a workshop about that too, about using photos in your crafts, which you can find on my website. Do I use printed paper from Creative Fabrica, and how do you do that? Yes, I do. I don't have so many examples of it. Like I said, this is one of them. It was just a snowflake one and penguins. And what I did, I just use the shapes. So in my SVG, I have these shapes, so you can cut them out of cardstock, like I did, on this one. Or what I do is then I slice it. And if you look on my site for making stickers or using the guides for print and cut, it shows you exactly how to do it. So I turn my shape into a guide, which goes on the front, and then the guide is this little pink outline, and you can arrange the paper inside so you can crop it, whether it's the photo or the digital paper, whatever image you're using, to exactly how you want it. So instead of, the penguins having to be this big, I could make them much bigger. Or same with the snowflakes. Like you don't have to use it the size the digital paper comes in. You can shrink it or expand it to whatever you want. So that's really how I love to use digital paper. And actually at the Design Space Jumpstart, I kind of show you how to do that too, using a background from like Creative Fabrica for either the pushpin board or a green chalkboard. And if I was stranded on a desert island, what craft tool would I want with me? Like, this is almost an impossible choice. My first thought is my laptop, but like, would I have power and Wi-Fi? What's one tool? Because if I had a Cricut, well then, would I still need my paper and my glue? So I suppose basically paper would be the one thing that I would have to bring. And I guess I would have to figure out the rest of the tools. Like, what would I do? Vicky says they're so shiny. It looks like they're laminated. And are they? They are not. That is actually just the photo paper. Let's see. Yeah. Again, so I have a link on my material list, I believe. It's Zicoto printable waterproof vinyl. I use them for stickers, like for my kids' water bottles. I use it in the upcoming event for the bulletin board. I used them to make push pin stickers to put on there. And I have found, like, for example, even these little guys too, these stickers, they're super shiny. Just by having this photo paper or printable vinyl, like, it just looks professional. And it's so easy to just, rip it off and stick it on there. No glue. In my photo workshop, I do explain how you can laminate things. For example, some photo prints, if you're going to give them like heavy use, maybe it is better to laminate them. If you do that, you do need to, there's a trick to making the Cricut sensors read the print and cut lines though. The best way is just to use a Sharpie to go along those lines, because the shininess of the lamination, for some reason, throws off the Cricut. However, the shiny photo paper is usually fine. What's the photo paper called that I mentioned? It is Zakoto Printable Glossy Vinyl Sticker Paper. And again, if you go to any of my material lists on my website, there's a menu on the top, or there's one I know for my project at the workshop, and you'll see a link to it there since I use it on almost all my projects. Oh my gosh, my crown is going to fall off, guys. Have to be the queen, right? Awesome, Vicki. I'm glad you'll follow me to learn stuff. I don't know. I love crafting. Ever since I got my Cricut, it opened a whole new world for me. And oh man, I had some disasters when I started. So I like to try to figure out new things and help other crafters, kind of help their road, hopefully be a little bit more smooth than some of my first projects were. Yep, April, thank you. The Zakoto printable vinyl, that is correct. I believe they have both matte and glossy, but my favorite is glossy. Dale, oh, I'm so happy. I opened a whole new world for you. It is pretty amazing. Like, it took me a while to figure out, like, what would I do with digital paper? But to not have to, cut even more pieces out. Like, I can put all these sheets just on one piece of paper, all these pieces I want to just stick on. Yeah, big time saver. Vicki, even if you're not just starting, we can all use as much help as possible. Have I tried other brands of the sticker paper? I have, and I keep coming back to this one. It just seems to be a little bit more, with sticker paper, you're doing the kiss cut all the time. So you just want to cut through the first layer and not the backing sheet. And I have just found that it's really, really consistent among all the sheets of paper. So for example, I just did like 400 stickers for this craft beer festival in Belgium that we went to, that a friend had his brewery at. So, and we put a bunch of them on this holographic sticker paper. And some of them cut out like amazing. And then some of them didn't cut out that great. And I felt like the holographic paper, like, it looked super cool, but it seemed to cut differently on all of them. So that's why I chose to just kind of stick with this one, but I have been trying other ones. And Alicia, my blade is cutting the mat and had to reduce the pressure. Has anyone cut their mat? Yes. I've cut my mat quite a few times. So if it's like, I'm guessing that it's just cutting a bit into the mat, and you'll almost always, like with cardstock, cut just a bit into the mat. If it's cutting a lot into the mat, you're probably using the wrong material setting. For example, you're using the heavy cardstock setting instead of the light cardstock, something like that. And actually, I have a tutorial on my site, both with the Zakoto sticker paper and other materials, on how to create a custom pressure setting. So if you're finding that happens a lot and you have a specific brand that you use a lot, then yeah, just follow that tutorial and create your own setting on how to do that. And I discovered, I guess, how to do this. Remember when 2020 hit and we were all making ear savers? So I started, teaching everybody how to do that with all these random materials. So lots of trial and error. All right, I guess it is about time to wrap it up if there's not any last minute questions. If you do have any questions, please feel free to tag me in the Facebook group, post pictures of your project, however you made it your own, or also just leave a comment on my blog and I'll get back to you. So thanks so much for joining me today. I'm glad you were here.